part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I am your host, Damon Royster, and today we are talking about the Disney Plus kids show, I Am Groot, a.k.a. I Am Groot. Joining me today are two wonderful guests. I am truly reconnecting with them before your very ears. My first guest, oh man, from the rooms of a game that I don't think I'm allowed to say. My former coworker, please welcome actor, writer, and known father of two, Rammel Chan. Rammel!
Hello. Hi. I'm happy to be here with my old friend.
Michael or me?
You.
Okay, hell yeah.
Okay.
And in our second seat today, man, here we go. We have a multi-hyphenate actor, comedian, and teaching artist. Everybody, it's Angela Oliver. Hello, Angela.
Thank you, Damon. Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm so excited to be here and reconnect with you before everyone's very ears. We go back in the improv realm.
We really do. You know me when I was bad at improv.
You were never bad at improv. Never. Strike that from the record.
Who can be bad at improv?
I mean, it's short form, it wasn't you, it was them.
Thank you. And that's why I really have a podcast for this building me up. All right, everybody. No one was asking for this, but we are going to be discussing the I Am Groot series on Disney Plus. I just wanted something before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I was like, hey, I never talked about this, so let's go into it. I'm going to go to Rammel Chan first, because I think as a father of two young children, I think you've seen this show, correct?
Oh, 100%. I watched it before you even asked me. And I watched it with my daughter, Winter, who's 4. She loved it.
I knew her when she was 2.
Yeah, you did. You did. Did you actually meet Winter?
No, I've never met her in my life. I don't really know her. She seems great.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. The truth is, and this is what I love about the Groot show, is that like Baby Groot is my daughter, like is a toddler, like is legitimate, like a chaotic human being, like or alien who like walks around and causes like maximum damage to whatever space she's in.
And Groot is very much that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pivot. This is going to be so interesting because going over to Angela Oliver, I believe the words you used before we hit record was toxic about Groot. How do you feel now?
Okay, I'm not a parent, but I have been in, I've worked with small children. I was a nanny for years. I worked in a preschool. So Groot, I mean, yes, toddler-like, but Groot is a little bit more soulless than toddlers. Like he seems to have no remorse for the destruction he wreaks. Rammel, I know you've seen the episodes, right? Where it's innocent enough, like he does those puppy dog eyes, but then he seems to delight in the destruction.
The one that I'm thinking of that like I felt kind of like, oh my God, was when with the little guy, I think is the name of the episode, and he like looks under the rock and sees like the full civilization.
Yes.
And then after like discovering that all he needs to do is feed them to make them happy, he like destroys it.
Yes.
Destroys the entire civilization. And
he does.
Also
maybe
known as
that is, I don't know. To your point, Rammel, I think we do that as little kids, like you see an ant and you want to step on it. Or am I telling on myself?
No, not at all. Yes, ants, but ants don't have a fully functioning society with like ships and families. I was going to say very rambunctious, but also the word I would use is genocide. Groot committed genocide, and I'm going to take him to trial for this.
Let's take this episode and cancel Groot.
Yeah, he did. That was genocide for sure.
A few of them were able to pop up in like the after credits scene. There were a couple of them who like popped up and were like happy, right?
Oh, the little civilization. Okay, good. So some of them survived.
Yeah, some of them survived, hopefully to rebuild society with a common enemy, which is Groot. And I hope in Guardians 3, these little amoebas rise up and get their revenge.
I will say too that like the toxicity was like clear to Winter as well. When we watched the one where he's taking a bath
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the slurry that he's like sitting in like makes his hair grow, sort of like Rogaine or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he is attacked by the squirrel bird, and then in the end he can't like grow his hair anymore, so he wants to still look fabulous, so he skins the squirrel bird
Yes.
and wraps it as a scarf around his neck. And Winter, every time we watched this multiple times, she was like, I don't like that he did that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Because
thought that was pretty mean. Yeah, that was pretty mean.
Yeah, there's just like Groot has like his own personal like honor code system of like, you laugh at me, I take your skin.
Yeah, it's very cruel. I feel like Groot, he was one of those girls in Carrie that poured the pig's blood on Carrie. Like is
Groot is that girl. Yes.
Groot is the mean girl.
Mhm.
He's a mean girl.
Do you a question that I'm having now? Do you think because I feel like I've seen this similar thing in like a Ren and Stimpy cartoon,
Mhm.
but do you think because of the CGI and the Disney money behind it, it looks so good that I'm now feeling the real repercussions? Whereas like if it was like a two-dimensional Animaniacs thing, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. It's a cartoon. But because it's so real and looks so
Uh-huh.
good that we're like we're feeling it more, or have we lost the fun in our old age? Anyone can answer.
Feeling it as in, well, when I immediately watched Groot, I adored Groot. I love his cute little face and his little eyes and his
Mhm.
different inflections of I am Groot. They hit me very different every time he says it. Like
Mhm.
I do think the CGI helped me have, I don't know, I was going hard for Ren and Stimpy though. So at the time, it met my needs. But now that
Yeah.
we've evolved, the CGI, I do think it helps because he looks more humanoid in his expressions.
Yeah. So I guess like I'm always on his side, but I'm like, man, because that bird, what'd you call him, Bromel? A squirrel bird?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rainbow
Little,
squirrel bird.
little toucan Sam over there, was being a little bitch.
Right.
Sorry. I know we're gonna get a lot of children listening to this episode.
Are we? Oh,
My
okay.
children.
Thank
I
you.
yeah,
Okay.
Ramel, play this for your
Thank you
kids.
for that heads up. I think we're supposed to be on Groot's side, you know? Like I
Mhm.
feel like initially I was on Groot's side, but when you invited me to talk about I Am Groot, I started looking at it with a critical eye, like in
Mhm.
a way that I haven't looked at it before.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I was just like, oh, he's so cute. Ha ha ha, funny. But then I was like, wait a minute, this is dark.
Well,
Um,
Trying to
let's
bank on his cuteness, right? Like, I mean,
oh yeah.
that's the thing. Like you're supposed to be on his side because he's so cute, and that like everything else just doesn't matter. Like
mhm.
this baby is more important than the civilization that he destroys or the bird that he skins. It's just like
Mhm.
this is our baby, right? And it's like the
And
Guardians of the Galaxy whole vibe is like this is family and he's the baby, and so we just let him do whatever.
Yeah.
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 And I think there's something to, oh God, I don't know why I feel like more of an adult when I talk about this show, but I want to talk about inflation. But like, in terms of like, you know, like Ramel, you were saying when your toddler was like messing up the house, it was probably just like, dishes on the floor, pillows thrown places. But because Groot is in space and dealing with higher stakes, the chaos is a little bit more hard. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally. And I mean,
Uh,
like, we know what he grows up into. Like, he grows up like because we've met like older Groot in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, he's like a
mhm.
kind soul, right?
Yeah.
He was always
Yeah.
like really sweet and like wise, even. But
Mhm.
like, and I think that's like kind of like a really, I don't know. This is why I wanted you to introduce me as a parent because like I think like my child can be an asshole and like she is like really mean to me sometimes, but like I have to just trust that like eventually this child will get through this and then will become like a real human.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I agree. I think that Groot as a baby is just self-centered, like like babies are, and he's satisfying his own curiosity so he can understand the world around him. But I also have to question, where are the people? And all of the shorts, like I'm like, Groot, where are the bodies?
Are the people?
Like, I get that you're curious and you're growing and you're understanding the world around you, but where are the bodies? Where are the people?
Yeah, where are the bodies buried, Groot? Let's go episode by episode. I know the order. Don't worry. Episode 1, Groot's first steps. This is when he's in the little potted plant. And then there are these floating robots, which I've never seen in any Guardians movie, but sure. And they put a, what is that? Those little, like, it's like a tiny little tree.
Bonsai tree?
Bonsai tree. Thank you.
Yeah. Asian. Sorry.
That's okay. Don't be
That's
sorry
okay.
for that.
Yeah. And honestly, you can say that whenever you want to.
I love it. I want more people. I want that to happen more.
You can't see me. This is a podcast. I want to just say, amazing.
Hey.
Oh, they can't see you. Yeah, they can't see you.
So the bonsai tree.
Bonsai tree.
It's just this little moment of like jealousy that happens between Groot and the bonsai tree, which I'll admit, I laughed. Lock me up. I thought it was cute. I was truly prepared not to laugh at anything in this show. And I was surprised how charmed I was.
I like that episode. I think I'm going to say he's cute in every episode because I think he's cute. He's like a cute he reminds me of if Baby Yoda, which I know that's not his name. I know that's not his name, but I'm rolling with Baby Yoda.
Grogu? You mean Grogu?
I know Grogu, technically Grogu, but the public opinion is Baby Yoda, I believe. They just if Baby Yoda was like a plant, you know,
yeah,
they're both equally cute. And watching the first steps thing, it was super short. He doesn't get to talk to anybody. I think that's the most innocent version of Groot we get out of all of the shorts.
Yeah,
I agree.
And like the reason I love the MCU is I love timelines and structures and knowing when things happen. So I'm a very fun person. So I feel like this little short happened right after the first Guardians movie where he was like replanted.
Okay.
After he sacrificed himself, we are Groot. Really blew that early, I have to say. So I feel like that's taking place there. All right. Any other thoughts about Groot's first steps, this little piece?
No, it made me really want cheese balls because he's like munching on those little cheese balls. I haven't had a cheese ball in a long time.
Man, give my man some cheese balls, man.
Please.
Craft services, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a great crafty for this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, look at just go to your front door.
You just DoorDash like wet salami to me. Like
yes.
There's always just sweaty salami at craft services.
I like the alliteration of sweaty salami. The nerd in me is like, that's a poem.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Sweaty salami slides.
Yes.
Then Manuel.
Yes. I'm gonna write that into a poem. Thank you for that gift.
Absolutely. Angela, by the end of this podcast, I would love a poem about Groot.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Okay, going into episode 2, the little guy. This is where Groot commits genocide as for aforementioned genocide. This God, he terrorizes a small village of amoebas. I really did like when they fought back, they had like actual like Quinjet ships that were like shooting at him.
Yes, they tried. They really did. And it was, I don't know, that was sad, you know?
Character-wise, I find it kind of weird that he like is attacked first by like the one creature and then the bird destroys the house.
Oh yeah, he built his house out of like sticks.
A stick house. And then he just sort of story-wise he's mad and then he destroys the amoeba village.
Yeah. Huh. So you think it's misplaced rage?
I think so.
And I think that's I'm gonna come out as an aggressive manner. That's dangerous for a children's show to not teach children that this is the wrong way to behave. How dare Disney just let this be streamable?
But do you think that the short is saying that his behavior is okay, or they're just showing how it played out?
I'm saying he gets away with it. He just gets to walk
where
away.
are the people? Because where are the people again?
Because where are the people? We get one little. We'll talk about Rocket later, but where are the people?
Okay, since now you're reminding me, it is on Disney Plus, and I am remembering like anything with children driving the story forward. The adults are usually absent,
Mm-hmm.
and that's always bothered me about Disney children's narratives. I'm like, where are the adults?
Where are they?
Where are the parents?
They're nowhere. They're doing whatever. I mean, Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana are just making googly eyes at each other. Episode 3, Groot's Pursuit, which I would say is my favorite one of the 5.
Yeah. It has a lot of good tension. And then, like, instead of ending in a fight, it ends in a dance-off. It was great.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun one. Maybe we're seeing the evolution of Groot's character through, each short. If we're talking about time, like he's growing into the Groot that we come to love in Guardians, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's also interesting too, and I kind of like this part about how he is sort of like showing aspects of each one of his like parents. Because so Guardians is about found family.
Okay.
Like this episode is about Chris Pratt, right? Star-Lord. And he's like, it's like about music and about like finding your enemy and then like dancing off in the end. And this is something that's true. You from. And like maybe like the first one is like, or the one about the little people and destroying people is like Drax. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. I could see that as Drax. Okay, Rammel, I could roll with that. Let's talk about episode 3, and then let's keep going with this train of thought. But episode 3, I looked this up. So this is a character whose name is Iwua. I don't know why it's not just Iowa. It's like IWUA. Iwua. Any thoughts on how to pronounce his name?
Iwua?
Let's go with that. Let's go with the Tim Allen. So shape-shifting creature loose on the ship. I think I like this one just because it felt like this is what an episode of Guardians of the Galaxy, the TV show, would be like. There is a Guardians of the Galaxy show. I never watched it, but I like that there was an enemy and we had to defeat it. And yeah, like you said, Rammel, I like that it was a nice little dance-off.
Is this like a real Marvel character from the comics?
I think it would have to be. There's so many like space blobs in the MCU. You know what? I think it's just for this show. Okay. It's just in the show. It's not in the comics. What a lie. But hey, looks cool. It looks like it's made out of water. And so, Rammel, you're saying this is like off of a Star-Lord situation?
I don't know. It just occurred to me that possibly it's kind of fun to think that each one of the episodes is like showing an aspect of Groot that he's like learned from the people that he's surrounded by. Yeah, I mean, like Karen Gillan's character is like has a lot of misplaced anger, so that first episode could be her too, with the little guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of this as like from like a story structure perspective.
No, I love it. This is your thesis, and we're gonna send.
I'm writing a dissertation on Baby Groot, actually. So,
I mean, who else? Angela Oliver, can you walk us through episode 4? Groot takes a bath.
Ooh, I love Groot takes a bath. Okay. I know I'm going to say that about every episode. But for me, cute odometer, this is, for me, the cutest one. Okay. This is the cutest short of I Am Groot because you get to see Groot in stasis. Nothing's bothering Groot. We open. Groot's just living. It's a slice of life moment for Groot.
Yes.
Just giving Groot. Groot is getting in the self-care, okay?
It's giving Groot.
It's giving Groot. It's organic. It's what we all need, that moment of rest and pause. And then the Ultra Rogaine moment. It's like a lot of fun, cute, laughable moments that are innocent enough that you don't have to press pause and explain to your child about some problematic behavior. Until the squirrel bird enters the squirrel bird. And I think what Groot does to the squirrel bird is not a good example of how we should treat wildlife. It was disturbing. But at the same time, I think we talked about this earlier. Like we're on Groot's side and we're kind of like rooting for Groot. Rhyme intended. And
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, boy.
and so like since we're rooting for Groot, we kind of take on his asshole like attitude, like leave him alone. He's trying to relax, or like,
Okay. I'll say it right here. I know you guys are both like fans of the Squirrel Bird character, but that Squirrel Bird is homophobic. Because my girl Groot, we all saw it. He put on a full ass dress and bouffant, and he was just having a little, I'll say it, a gay moment in the woods. Who hasn't done that? What else are the woods for?
right. That's what the woods are for. That bird, I don't really side with the squirrel bird. Rammel was kind of on
Right.
the side
I mean,
with
truthfully, it was my daughter Winter who was on the side.
okay.
Wow, really passing the blame, I see.
What I do as a father, just pass the buck on to my children.
It was my daughter.
I mean, I think it's interesting because if I take it at face value, like her opinion, which is a bad opinion, let me just say, Winter's bad opinion about the squirrel bird. She didn't know Groot before this, or like she just knows that the character is cute and that she wanted to see it because Daddy likes Marvel movies and like this is like Marvel adjacent. So I was like, okay, we can watch this. And like, do you have to know outside of just the cuteness, do you have to like know or trust that this character is a good character before he like does something really heinous, like skin a wild animal and then
use their fur as a scarf?
Like, I mean, I think possibly yes, but also she's 4, so she doesn't know anything.
Right. Yeah. And like at face value, like if you're 4 and you don't know Groot, like you haven't developed an emotional connection to care about Groot and his journey, then I could see why you would side with the squirrel bird because it's pretty,
Yeah.
It's the only one. I guess it's just laughing. But
It seems, I don't know. I remember feeling like, I'm just gonna say F. I don't know if kids are listening. I remember thinking like F that bird. That bird's
F
being
that bird.
Yeah, that bird's being a D.
Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Oliver has just said F that bird. Let it be known.
That bird is a D.
That bird
That
is a
bird.
D.
Bird is a D. F the bird for being a D. I think that's very fair to say. So wait, Rammel Chan, has your daughter seen original Groot from the first Guardian? Has she ever seen the Guardians movie?
No, she is not. It is too scary. Like most Marvel movies are a little too scary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Most Marvel movies always have that one scene where it's like, this is like German music video territory. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Do you think your daughter is going to freak the F out when she's like, what is that? That's not Groot.
Like when she sees adult Groot?
Yeah.
We did see, and I know you recorded this because I listen all the time, and she did see the Guardians Christmas special. And so like she has seen larger Groot and is interested in him, but like it's still kind of precarious, like whether or not she's gonna get scared of like chasing or like how big a creature looks. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it can be kind of scary looking, just visually,
Yeah.
That's...
All right. Well, it's time for the last episode of I Am Groot, Magnum Opus. Angela Oliver, you are a composer in your own right. Can you please give us your definition of Magnus Opus? I had Michael do some research, and he's been telling me that you're a composer. I'm so sorry if that's incorrect.
Composer. I've taught music and movement arts, so I and I'm a vocalist as well. So Michael, you were not wrong. I've composed comedic songs on my ukulele, so that counts.
Yes.
I am a ukulele.
Oh my god!
I can't.
I love that.
Oh no! She said ukulele.
Shout out to all my blurs. You can't see me, so I had to make it known.
Right.
Ukulele blurred in the house. Who doesn't? During the pandemic, you had to do what you had to do, right?
Yeah.
You went out and you bought that ukulele and you played those open chords and you made little kids think you're a rock star. That's what you did.
Yes. So you've made your magnum opus.
I've made my magnum opus on my I think it's a concert ukulele to be specific. GCEA are the notes that are on the string.
I was really like, what does that spell?
That nothing. Those are the notes that are on the strings of the ukulele.
Gotcha.
And magnum opus was another fun episode for me with Groot. I like seeing him with, it looks like, so the cover, if you see the like cover of the episode, he has like arts and it looks crazy. It looks like he's going to do an art project. This one I didn't have any qualms with in terms of violence and like Groot being a maniac to me.
Oh, this one I definitely did.
You did?
He put a hole in the ship.
At this point, we know.
It's just property, right. Damon. Property.
Property, no. People, not
people
living
over
things.
Property, okay?
No, never. This is my business, and I will die for it. I was born to work.
At this point, he's not hurting breathing things. So
yeah, you're right. At this point, after 4 episodes of destruction, I should really be glad he's doing it to his own property and not destroying again.
Yes.
Also, he's making art. He's making
art. No exactly.
You hearing this, Michael? Here they go. This is what happens when you book artists for your podcast.
Here's
no living things were harmed in the making of Groot's art in Magnum.
I do have a little question. What do you guys think of this? So Groot was destroyed in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he was replanted. And now in this episode, he draws a picture, and the picture is of everybody from the first Guardians. And in that sort of like tree pose where he like wraps his arms around them. And like, I'm guessing it's the "We Are Groot" moment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he remember his past life?
I think maybe as he gets older, he does. That's my theory. I have no, Marvel confirmedness from this theory, but I do think as he gets older, he starts to remember.
Yeah.
I think more, and I don't know about you, Angela, but I think Rammel, any Doctor Who fans on the call?
Little. I watched a few.
I watched a little bit, but I can't give you like trivia knowledge.
Oh, nor would I want any. But the fact that he regenerates and like that's why they have different actors. Like the new regeneration always remembers the past, but they basically are like, I'm gonna have this new personality. Yeah, I remember everything that happened in seasons 1 through 4, but I'm Matt Smith now. And I feel like that's how I take this Groot. Like he does remember everything, but he's like, I'm a baby. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Like that's old life. This is new life.
I like
that. Yeah, I think he remembers it, but I think like when he's a baby, he's still immature. Like he's just social emotional skills aren't there.
Yeah, I think we saw in Avengers Infinity War, push those glasses up. It was more of a teenage Groot, and he was like acting out and being kind of a real D of a tree. And
oh, tree.
Snaps.
I'm trying to like help you out with this poem. So yeah, I think it is like, so maybe it's a combination. He remembers his past, but he's also still susceptible to the immaturity of adolescence. God, hope you put your kids to bed.
Well, now that we're talking about Groot being able to regenerate himself, that could explain the logic behind being destructive. Maybe his object permanence understanding. Maybe he thinks things can regenerate themselves, since he can.
Oh, maybe.
In his mind, he doesn't look at it as like, I'm destroying this thing. Maybe he feels like, I'm just giving you your next regeneration boost or something.
Yeah. Rebirth yourself.
Yeah.
Rise from the ashes.
Yeah. He's like, do what I do.
Let me take your skin.
Give me that skin. Okay. Well, is Hannibal Lecter, he really likes to take people's skins. But here on Podcast 616, we like to take a break. So we're going to be right back. That was a great transition.
That was.
We'll be right back, and we're going to be talking about we're going to talk about the one Guardian who's in I Am Groot, and then we're going to start predicting and talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So keep it right here to Podcast 616. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Welcome, everyone, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I am your host, Damon Royster, and I am inviting you to listen and subscribe to this Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. On Podcast 616, we gather some of today's greatest comedians, writers, and actors to dive deep into all things Marvel, like comic book history and lore, all the interconnected superhero storylines, and of course, who's hot and who's not in the MCU. Honestly, why aren't you listening right now? You have the power to listen to Podcast 616. And as we always say, with great power comes even greater responsibility. Listen and subscribe to Podcast 616 wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month, and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us, and then listen in.
Hey everyone, this is Don Mike Mendoza, the host of Producing While Asian. Join us in Season 2 for more conversations with actors, artists, producers, and more from Broadway, Hollywood, and beyond, every other Wednesday on the Press Play Podcast Network.
And we're back. Rammel Chan, our researcher Michael, did some research, and apparently you were the stand-in for Rocket Raccoon in I Am Groot. So could you talk a little bit about what that was like being on set that day?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I got to work with Vin, and
Vin was there.
Yes, he was doing the motion capture and speaking the I Am Groot business, and it was a dream. It was truly a dream. I didn't say anything, and I actually I stood in for James Gunn's brother, whatever his name is.
Ugh, Sean Gunn, my least favorite. Yeah. I really hate him, but continue.
Why? Wait a second. Why? Let's hear it.
Okay, let's go on this Gilmore Girls tangent, why don't we? That actor was in Gilmore Girls. He played a character named Kirk, whose whole deal was he was the weird guy in the town. Do you guys watch Gilmore Girls?
A little bit.
No.
Okay.
I watched a little bit because of you, actually.
Me?
Yes. I remember you saying something like it's a good or something enthusiastically about like I should watch it or something. I don't know.
Man, I bet you when we were listeners, Angela and I were on an improv team like in the last year of Obama's presidency. For context, we saw the change together.
My rosebud thorn that day.
Yeah. Oh, I will always remember that rehearsal. I think that was the year that I was watching Gilmore Girls for the first time. So you got a lot of Gilmore Girls. I'm so sorry. So Sean Gunn played Kirk, and I just found him annoying. But clearly, the writers, Amy Sherman Palladino, I know you're listening. She loved him, and she kept putting him in all the episodes, and I could have done without him. So color me surprised when I tune into Guardians of the Galaxy, and who's the latest Guardians member? Freaking Sean Gunn, Kirk from Gilmore Girls. I hate him. He's canceled. He's not in Fuck, Marry, Kill, but if I did, I'd kill him every time. He sucks. Is that what you wanted, Rebel?
I like Kraglin as a character, for the record. I think Kraglin's I remember the name. He's very charming, and I like. I think he's charming in Guardians for sure.
Well, then you'll love Gilmore Girls. You should watch that when Winter's old enough. That should be a show you should watch. Well,
yeah, for sure.
You should watch it with her mom, but you should be there too. Coming back in here, Rocket Raccoon makes a cameo. That's all I wanted to say.
I love Rocket Raccoon.
Yes, and I mean, big get for Bradley Cooper. So Angela, what do you like about Rocket Raccoon?
He seems to be the voice of reason a lot of times. When people are flying off the rails, he comes in and he regrounds the group. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about it. He comes in and he's just like, I got it. He's like that guy. It's like, all right, it's just
It's a great Rocket Raccoon. It's so good.
Yeah. Rammel, you were the motion capture double, and Angela, you were the voice. I did forget that. I got it.
Reminds me of like the building super that doesn't want to be bothered, but they're so good at fixing like everything.
I think that's great. Yeah. And he's also, building super. And I think he's like the pilot of their ship. Okay. I've got a brain busting question for you guys. Does Rocket Raccoon actually understand Groot, or is he just making it up?
I feel like Rocket Raccoon is low-key a genius. Like, I think he does understand.
I think
he's hiding all of his gifts and I don't know why. There's a secret. It will be revealed why he's hiding all of his gifts. But yes, I do. That's my answer. I do think he understands.
Okay. And Rammel?
I think like lore wise, like I think you can understand what Groot is saying, because if I'm remembering right, doesn't Quill like talk to Groot as well? Like he like reprimands him for just playing video games or something in like Infinity War.
And like even in Volume 2 of Guardians, Chris Pratt can like talk to Groot and like understand him.
Yeah. I think Groot is like a tonal language, and so like you just like sort of get the vibe like the more you talk to a Groot, and it's
All right.
What if it's even creepier? Like, what if Groot only is understood by people Groot allows? You know what I mean?
Ooh, like his tree power, like
Groot is giving a little like The Last of Us vibes a little bit, but friendlier.
Oh.
Like maybe he can control how you receive his language.
Maybe he puts a little sap in your ear at night.
Yeah.
Spores, or he's like releasing
spores. You know, plants release like little pollen or whatever. I mean, he's not a flower, but you know what I mean.
Didn't he made a flower in the first Guardians and gave it to that girl on the planet?
Right.
Yeah.
So he could be giving off some type of, like you said, spores or something.
Okay. I kind of wanted to start a conspiracy theory, like my favorite movie conspiracy theory of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that Ferris Bueller doesn't exist.
Whoa.
Think about it. Next time you watch that movie, imagine that it's just a figment of Cam's imagination, and Cam is actually
crazy.
Yeah.
So are Cam and Sloane in a relationship? Is that the theory?
Yes. But in his mind, he's like the cool guy that she would be with, because she's like, she would never be with me. She would be with my imaginary friend Ferris, but it's all Cam.
Oh, wow.
Listeners, my guests are digesting this, and it's beautiful to see. This is the only way I watch Ferris Bueller now. I watch it with that in mind.
I love it. I'm going to rewatch it and just, soak that in.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You never see Cam's family. Just saying.
Whoa.
Rammel, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm like trying to piece it together because I just watched this actually.
Whoa.
I might need to take a day. I need to take
a day off.
Yeah. A whole.
Very fair, very fair. Take a day off. Think about it. But while you're taking that day off, let us go. So that's I Am Groot. Fantastic series. I want to give just, I don't know if I know they're not listening, but Kirsten Lepore directed and wrote all those episodes. Art was great. I have much respect for silent scenes. When I was a sketch writing teacher at Second City, there was a week where we would teach silent scenes, and the students hated it and all the teachers hated teaching it. And I was like, no, this is the best class, because if you could make somebody laugh with no dialogue, that's so powerful. So I have much respect for the lack of dialogue, and that these were like silent movies that we all watched. So yeah, I'm pro the format. I'm pro the look. Iffy on Groot and his moral code, but he just a baby. Any final thoughts about I Am Groot before we start talking about Guardians 3?
I love it. I think it's an adorable series. I enjoy the short. I also love that it's silent. And I love that, Rammel, you brought up that Groot speaks a tonal language. And that made me tilt my head. I was like, oh, we all kind of speak a tone. Like tone is everything. But Groot.
Is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think Groot, I like the attention that Groot demands from us as a watcher. Because he only says, I am Groot all the time, but still we're pulled in. He's that charming,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very charming character. So that's all I have to say about Groot, Baby Groot.
Baby. All right. Okay. I'm going to shift. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3, the last one. It's coming out when this podcast is out. It'll be out this coming weekend. How are we feeling? Is it time to say goodbye? Do you wish there was going to be a fourth one like Thor and Captain America?
I think it could keep going because there's going to keep being new kids, that haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a good, I know it's got some scary parts in it for younger children, but I think it is a good family movie to watch. And I'm biased because I just like the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I would watch all of them. Has a good soundtrack too, usually.
Yeah. Great. No, it's about the first one. I think the first one is spectacular.
It's also really sweet, right? Like I think that was my favorite part about it, because like there's a lot of like humor and comic relief mixed in with like the Avengers series, but then when it comes to Guardians, like there's like it's more about like oh, I love these people, I really care about them as individuals, and I care about them as a group. Where if you're like talking about like Avengers as like a group of work friends, like I always think of Guardians as like, oh, this is like a family. This is one family.
Yeah.
That's a great comparison, that the Avengers are like, this is going to work, but Guardians, this is their home.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Motley Crew, hijinks ensue. That's what it is.
Yeah, 100%. I will say, just so I can be honest with my millions of listeners, Rammel, you listen to this podcast?
Yeah.
Crazy. Wild to hear. Thank you. I did not enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I think soundtrack wise, that little thing, I think they went more like white dad rock.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt like I was led astray. You ended with, what was the last song? Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, we're going to do more Motown things. And no, we did not. So that's my note for that. And Volume 2, I don't know. I cannot stand the, so I'm glad they got out of the way, but this plot of like, I have to find my father and then kill my father to avenge my father. Like,
right.
So much dad stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, Rammel.
No, it's good. That plot line is redundant, but
Rammel's my dad.
I am.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
it's been tense.
Yeah, I feel like, Star Wars like did like the dad thing like really well. Like it's like, oh, my dad is good. No, my dad is bad. Oh, my dad is good again, sort of situation. And like in this one, yeah, it's hard to like replicate. And I don't know the comics well enough, Damon, but like that's the lore, right? Like Ego is his is Star-Lord's dad, and so I mean, like they had to go there.
Yeah, they did. But hopefully this third one doesn't rely so heavily on Chris Pratt. And now we know, fans of the Christmas special, Mantis and Star-Lord are brother and sister. I hope they do something with that.
Yeah. No, I definitely like the first Guardians over the second, Damon. I think I'm happy to see it continue, but I like the first one. Or like if we were going first against second, definitely the first.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, round robin. Rammel Chan, what do you hope to see in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
I'm most excited to find out where Rocket came from. I think like that kind of is that mystery has always been building up for me, and I just really want to know like where did he get this chip on his shoulder, and like what is it about? Like where did they get this raccoon in outer space?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And then Angela Oliver, same question. What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Rocket Raccoon's secrets being revealed. Like what, you know what I mean? Like what's the ultimate motivation behind, like, I don't know. He seems deeper than what they've revealed to us.
Yeah. I will say, crazy that none of you said this. Gamora, a woman out of her time. Last time we saw Gamora, she died in Infinity War, and then they got Gamora from 2014 before she met the Guardians, is now in the present timeline. So I'm excited to see how she folds back into the group. If she does, could care less if she and Star-Lord get together, although their scene in the first one was very cute and it was very romantic. They were like standing in front of like that cloud in space, listening to music. It was nice. Okay, Chris Pratt, I know you're listening. Everyone listens to this podcast.
Hi, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, everyone say hi to Chris Pratt.
Hi, Chris.
Okay, and now it's time for Chris's favorite segment and everybody's segment of every week. It's the Fuck, Marry, Kill. We're going to be a little bit different this week. We're going to go outside of the MCU, and we're going to do a special Fuck, Marry, Kill Tree edition. Okay, let's see if I got this right. On the docket to Fuck, Marry, Kill, we have Adult Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. We have Audrey 2 from the musical Little Shop of Horrors. You know, that play that eats people. And then we have Treebeard, and this is from Lord of the Rings, correct?
Yes, Lord of the Rings. He's an Ent. He's an ancient tree herder.
Thank goodness. All right. I'm going to go first, give my guest time to think this over. Again, it's Fuck, Marry, Kill. For part of me, I'm going to kill Treebeard. I am not a Lord of the Rings fan. I have seen them. I saw the 3 movies, and then I said, no more.
Oh, no.
No Hobbit prequels, no extended editions of anything. So I vaguely remember Treebeard. And, you know, he looked dusty. So I'm just going to put him out of his misery. Light his ass up. I am going to fuck Audrey 2. It'll be tumultuous. I don't know if I'm going to come out alive, but that voice, mwah, I love it. Feed me. And and then I'm going to marry Adult Groot because I think we've been saying, I think Adult Groot just gets it. You know, he has the playfulness of Baby Groot, but he has the maturity of like being very tall and wooden. And he kind of has a weird stretch and shrink power that could get me to tall places. So Adult Groot. I'm not saying it's the right answer, but you know, makes the most sense to me. Let's go to Angela Oliver, please.
Oh my. Okay. Killing. Okay. I know that's not in order though. I should go. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. Oh God, this is so hard.
I know they're trees.
They are trees. I'm not copying off of you, Damon. Don't think I'm copying off of you.
I would never. And
I'm sorry if my sister's listening because she loves Lord of the Rings, and I just don't. I'm sorry. I appreciate its contribution to American pop culture, but that's not for me. You know, that I will not. I can't. That shall not pass.
Ayo.
No.
I can't.
Rebel loves this Lord of the Rings.
To each their Lord of the Rings own, but I can't do the what is it, the dusty old tree.
Yeah.
I can't do the dusty old tree. I can't do it. I feel like that would be cause an infection or kill it.
Chop it down.
Chop it down. Who should I fuck? I'm gonna have to just. I would fuck Adult Groot because. Did you see the muscles? Look at the muscles.
I know. I saw
the muscles, and I would fuck F. I've already said the F bomb. I would fuck Adult Groot and keep him in the corner pocket. You know, just that's a friend with Benny.
I love that phrase. Keep him to the corner pocket.
Corner pocket. But I would marry Audrey too because I'm a composer, and Audrey too would be my muse.
Beautiful. Ooh, I love this. Rammel Chan, what are you gonna do? What are you
I
gonna
love The Lord of the Rings. I will defend it forever.
do? You're gonna have to.
With that said, I was going to kill Treebeard, but I'm going to change my mind because of this. I'm going to go ahead and marry Treebeard because this is how much I love the IP so much. I will do.
He loves the IP.
I love the IP. LOTRIP. I will fuck Audrey too because I love like the begging of like feed me Seymour. It's like very exciting to me.
Okay,
And then,
man.
I mean, like I think I've changed my mind throughout this whole episode that I think Groot is toxic, and I'll go ahead and kill adult Groot.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah, and I think this was very well dispersed. A good variety, I would say. All right. That is our Fuck, Marry, Kill Tree edition. Checking in with Angela Oliver. You got that poem?
Oh, okay, yeah. About Groot, a Groot?
A group poem. Let's
Okay.
go out on a group poem. Let's see what happens.
I am, we are, you are Groot. Deep down from the limbs on my fingers to the toes at my root. I am, we are, you are Groot.
Yes. Hell yes. A podcast 616 first. We've never had a poem on here. Can you believe it? Thank you, Angela Oliver, Rammel.
It was my pleasure anyway.
Yeah, this was fun. This was so fun. Thank you, Damon.
Thank you. Please, Angela, if you want to let people know where they can find you online, if you want them to, or if anything's coming up.
Absolutely. You can find me online. I'm so LA now. Like I do this thing where where I only post, the LA frequency. But you can find me at Angie Oliver on IG. It is ANJ like jellyfish, Oliver like twist on all the social medias. AngieO.com is the website with the same JEE spelling. This has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for welcoming me into your found family of the podcast world.
Oh my gosh. When you're here, you're never going to leave. I will be asking you again. Don't worry. Rammel Chan, where can we find you?
You can just find me at Rammel Chan. That's it.
No fuss, no muss. You doing shows?
I have a show. I have a play coming up, but that's it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to plug shows.
Damn.
I do music improv comedy at West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica called A West Side Comedy Story. It's a made-up musical based on West Side, the musical, that one.
Yeah.
It's every first Wednesday of the month. Of every month. Did I say that right? You got it.
I think so. Beautiful. Rammel, you want to plug your play?
Yeah, opening June 4th at Looking Glass Theater in Chicago. I'm going to be performing in Lucy and Charlie's Honeymoon. Asian play. A new Asian musical.
Wow. You sing?
Well, I sing a little, yeah.
Oh, okay. We have a band. We can start a band then. There we go.
Right.
I'm a composer.
I'll be on tambourine. This is Podcast 616. You can follow us on Instagram at Podcast616P3. That P3 stands for Press Play Podcasts, this beautiful network that lets us talk about trees and fucking trees, all that stuff. Thank y'all. Producer Michael, if you want to hop on the mic real quick, what letter grade would you give this podcast that you just listened to?
You guys did a great job. I'll give you guys an A++. You guys lost your 616 virginity. So here you go.
Heyo.
Thank you.
Ooh, it's been a while since I've gotten a double plus, Michael. I just want to let you know that I know. I know you were pretty mad that I made you watch all those Fantastic Four movies, and I do apologize. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Angela. Thank you, Rammel. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Groot. We'll be back next week to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Hope it's not like Quantumania. So until that happens, please remember that with great power comes even greater responsibility.